Greystar alone is going to pay $50 million.
Could I be accused of price fixing based on looking at comps?
People are frustrated about the price of rents, just the price of housing in general. Greystar. So I don't know if you've heard of Greystar, but they are a very large property management firm. And so it says Greystar and other landlords who don't get, to top billing. So lucky for Greystar, they get to be mentioned in this. Agree to a $141 million deal to settle a rent setting lawsuit, which basically sounds like price fixing.
Yeah,
is sort of what they got accused of. But the article gets into, real estate giant Greystar and 25 other property management companies have agreed to collectively pay more than $141 million to settle a class action lawsuit accusing landlords of driving up housing costs by using rent setting algorithms offered by the software company RealPage. So this was something that I did first. It was actually maybe 2-3 years ago when this first broke out.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing something about it, but I guess it was, as those class action things go, they move very slowly.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I guess it was just settled. But I guess Greystar alone is going to pay $50 million.
And so they essentially just brought in an external software to help them identify like what the optimal price was.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So kind of like if I went on Rentometer right now, could I be accused of price fixing based on looking at comps?
Looking at comps. So I think that's an interesting question. And I think that's one of the reasons why this is such an interesting case.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are large property management firms that have a lot more scale than, any of us in this room. But I thought that was interesting because the article gets into, it says Greystar, where is it? It said that they currently manage
close to $1 million.
It's close to $1 million. It was like 946,000 or something like that.
They've got to be on the apartment side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So all of these companies, these are, and I know from being in the property management kind of world, like RealPage as a software, people that do what we do at Intrigue don't really use RealPage. We use a software called AppFolio. Comparable softwares would be like Buildium or Yardi. They're better for like third-party management of like smaller portfolios, mom and pop across several different addresses. RealPage is a software that's really designed for like a handful of buildings.
Yeah.
So it's like you have this campus that has 300 units on it.
Yeah.
And it's going to have its own, basically that the apartment complex is going to have its own website. And so it's a more expensive software that's my impression. It's more expensive software that does a little bit more than AppFolio does. So all of these companies that manage that type of asset utilize RealPage, but the article does say that the companies have also agreed to no longer share non-public information with RealPage for its rent algorithm, a key stipulation since plaintiffs say RealPage used that information to enable landlords to align their prices and push up rents. So I think that's the distinction of what you're saying. So like, a lot of private landlords will use like Rentometer. We use Rentcast at Intrigue. Like there's these rent comps, rent comparables platforms that you can use. But I think the key difference is they are using public data. They're using public data to say, here's the rents that everybody could see, but we're just going to consolidate it for you based on this subject property that you're entering. And we're going to give you a summary of this is what we think you can rent for. Whereas the key thing that was happening with RealPage is you had these they were basically getting sort of a competitive advantage by.
So like what kind of information could they potentially give? I'm thinking things like upcoming vacancy rates, like when units are going to vacate. Like I can imagine that actually being really, really important for for being able to drive up rents over time.
So this is an interesting part of it. It says RealPage has vehemently denied any wrongdoing and argues that the plaintiffs misunderstood how their product works. RealPage, which is based in Texas, has said its software is used on fewer than 10% of rental units. Like, oh, look how small, just 10% of the whole rental market in the US, and that its price recommendations are used less than half the time. So it's like people don't even use
it only
people don't even use this.
5% of the all the rentals in the country. All right. I mean, fundamentally, I don't think any of us are looking to gouge people. I don't feel like I have a good enough understanding of the actual implications there to cast too much judgment, because, fundamentally, like, I think, you could make similar arguments about, the MLS providing information that drives up the value of houses. Like, again, I'm sure I'm missing something. I'm sure there's a lot to this that I'm not understanding, because you don't settle for $100 million plus if there's not some wrongdoing. But,
it's saying that RealPage argues that the real driver of high rents is a lack of housing supply. I mean, basically,
that's true.
It's not our fault. It's the market. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, I think that's the
we're looking for somebody to blame. Yeah. Let's blame the company that prices it, not the fact that we don't have enough housing in the country.
Yes, I think that you could. That's the other side of this, is that people are frustrated about the price of rents and the just the price of housing in general. Yeah. And they're looking for someone to blame. So let's blame the largest property management firms and the largest property and the software that they use for the problem. That could very much be the case. Or like, I could also, that's the problem. We're just looking at an article. We don't have all of the details of this case in front of us. But I could also see these companies, it's 25 companies that represent, like a large 10% is a large share of the US market for rental properties. And you could use that economy of scale as leverage to say, like, hey, we're all going to enter this data on the back end. Because this is what I imagine. I'm not saying this is what these companies are doing, but I could see a way where companies could say, like, let's enter this information that's not public, but like, I'm gonna post this one bedroom for $1,200. Oh, you're gonna do $1,200? Me too. Yeah. And now you're price fixing. Yeah. Like, if we're all using via a software, we're all using it to choose prices. I could see how that would be price fixing.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I think for people like us that own, like, single family duplex rentals and manage that type of property, if anything, them doing that is helping us out. Yeah. Because they're separating themselves. Like, if apartment complexes are all sort of overpriced in that way, it creates more opportunity for private landlords to sort of undercut that market.
Yeah. Oh, and fundamentally, the other side of this is, like, I own a variety of rentals. Like, if I have a vacancy and you have a vacancy nearby, like, you and I are going to be competing with one another for the same, optimal tenant. And so we're probably going to make some offers that are, hey, I'm going to be a little bit less expensive, or first month's free, or, there's going to be a variety of different, like, hey, I'll put in a washer dryer for you. Whatever those things are to compete for a tenant. And if what this is alleging is that they were reducing competition by not having these compete against each other on a day-to-day basis, then you're absolutely right. It creates a price fixing situation, and is, us small landlords, our opportunity to go and ideally win the optimal tenants, let them go get the ones who that can't afford our places or can't qualify for our places.
Well, I almost think that's the thing that's hard to understand about this situation, is like, why. And this is what I struggle to understand in any sort of price fixing scenario, where it's like, why doesn't one of them just fall out of ranks? Yeah. Like, if I own an apartment complex, like, because we could take that scenario you said, and now we just both own apartment complexes. Yeah. Right. Lord willing. Like, if I own an apartment complex and you own one down the road, and we both have the same amount of vacancy,
Yeah.
Why do I want to fix my price to yours? Like if we're both trying to reduce vacancy and increase occupancy, why would I not just try to follow the market?
Yeah, I'm sure people are in there to really crunch numbers and understand something we don't understand, because there's something's going on here. Something's funky.
It is interesting because I don't know how that 141 million, if that represents, company 10%, it actually doesn't seem like that big of a number.
It's not a very big number in the grand scheme of things, because you assume 300 million people here in the United States. Could be higher, could be lower, depending on which party you're believing here at the moment. But in that general ballpark, you assume average home size is 2 people on average. So 150 homes here in the United States. What, 50% of them are rentals, give or take. So 75 million rentals here. So what is that? $2 per rental?
Yeah.
Or 10%. You're talking about like $20 per one of these affected rentals. Like that's not anything to write home about, I would say.
Yeah, it's not huge. It does seem like maybe that was just a go away kind of number.
100%. Yeah. And by the way, I apologize if I did public math there. If I screwed that one up, but please make fun of me in the comments or something.
Well, I heard you say 150 homes, and I'm like 150 million.
Yeah.
But you were doing the quick math, or the
back of the envelope math.
Back of the envelope math. I like it.
Well, to stand out, maybe Ryan, we should invest in one of those giant free rent signs for the front of some of our vacancies. That'll definitely set us apart from the big dogs who are potentially price fixing.
Yeah, that's a great strategy.
Yeah,
I see maybe free market rent.
Yeah,
free market economics rent.
Yeah,
with sources on the sign.
Oh.
Click these links. Read these articles.
You can check out our full library of episodes wherever you get your podcasts.